of that. Okay, hypothesis development. All right. So what's Babrak? So what question is the justification or rationale of the research? Um, I couldn't understand the question. So what question is justification or rationale? Okay, we go back to this one. Oops.
Uh,
Oh, all right.
Professor, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
need to
Okay.
clarify my question. I couldn't do it.
Uh,
My question is, whenever we are asked, like, so what? If you're doing some research,
mm-hmm.
so what? So is justification is answer to so what question? That's what I needed to ask. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay, Babrak. Uh, so what question is justification or rationale for research? How probably we are different areas, yeah, different discipline, right? So it's really subjective. The question is very subjective. It depends on your study. So if you ask me what question is for is justification or rationale for your research, it depends on your study as well. To your research, um, um, I'll be stuck on this question because I can relate with this. Of course, you need a question justification. Okay, hold on. Let me understand this. Research.
Prof,
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Prof,
Babak. Yeah.
whenever we try to conduct a research
Okay.
project, first of all, we want to join the conversation, like we
Okay.
want to
Correct.
have a field of study, and then which we call it as a common ground. And then we come to the complications. It means what is missing. And then there is a question: is what I identified as a research gap or whatever I have identified
Okay.
missing in the field, is it a trivial question or important question?
Okay.
So,
That's
so what? Yeah.
okay.
So what means, is
Huh?
the question a trivial or is this gap a very
Okay.
important? So that I want to understand,
All
like
right. Good. Okay.
justification.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you.
Babrak. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
All right. Okay. Why we do need theoretical framework? Because we need to develop before we go to the just what the Babrak said, that he goes to the ground, do the interview, and then they see that okay, the question based on the theory, you do you develop the question, you do a develop question development, all right, based on your question. Probably you use a semi structured, okay, question, for example, okay, semi structured. So you have a the question, basic question, which is related or linked or referring to that theory. That's fine. That is a theoretical framework. It's your idea based on your theory. That's fine. And then when you have another point of the question, because probably that question is not well answered by the interviewee, all right, you have another question which is guide them to answer based on what are you looking for, which is all related to your theory. So that will be a gap. It's really important for your point of your research, right? So this is justification. You need a theory first, and then you develop based on question, probably out of out from that theory, which is important answer, important data, which is help to develop another phase of your research, another phase of your study. All right, probably it could be used for the chapter 3 or sorry, phase objective number 2 or objective number 3. So this is how the research is being done. Okay, basic idea is about the framework on the theory, and then after that you need to identify that is where is the gap. It's really important to help to drive your research. Okay. All right. No worries, Barbara. Okay. We go to the hypothesis. Okay. For the hypothesis development, okay, both framework assist the generating hypothesis or research question. They provide the basis formulating educated guesses about the relationship between variables and outcome of the study. This hypothesis can be tested through empirical research. All right. So normally for science, yeah, you have a hypothesis, and also some of the arts as well. So why you need the conceptual framework or theoretical framework? Because you need probably you involve the study involve the hypothesis. So you need to explain that in your theoretical framework based on your objective number one, number two, and number three, which is probably hypothesis involved in objective number one. This is the theory that you use. This is the area that you want to test the hypothesis. So it's a guideline for you, right? Structure of your research. Okay, next. Interpretation of the findings. Theoretical framework offer a lens through which research can interpret their findings, right? Normally, right? This is I think for science, I think that clear cut when you, because you are looking you are most of your topic or your research is basically is a fact, right? You use this theory, you find. You use this theory, you will get the data. You use this theory, this is the result. Okay, but for arts, probably it could be subjective, right? But we still need the theoretical framework. We still need the theory to um, interpret. Okay, we try to guessing that this is could be. Okay, but it's not just simply pick. I think this is okay. Not I think, but interpret mean the word interpret. It's really different between I guessing. Interpret means you interpret that based on that all the form, all the factors, all the element on that theories could be related to your different between guessing and also interpret. Interpret means you see the potential. This is related to my research, right? So you can identify that that theory probably and also is related to your research. Okay, it's really related to your research, which is it would drive or it's really connected to your study. Okay, I want to look okay, for example, I want to look at this visual. One visual is I'm using a scientific method, which is eye tracking machine, right? But in theory for arts, probably I will look into probably hypothesis also mention about the at the top at the center point of that visual is the right point uh, to have anything important people will read, for example, right? So you can use that theory, all right? You can use that theory for your study, okay, for your theoretical framework. When you do the data collection, it will be different, okay? But still, you have the structure, you have the guideline to use that. But when you test it, probably it's a difference between probably the size, okay, the contrast, right? On the top corner probably is more dominant compared to the center. So this is the thing that based on this, because I use the theories that saying that center is more highlighted, right? But another theory saying that the element of visual, there's a contrast, there probably a colors, right? That element probably will highlight more instead of the space, which is at the center. So this is the thing that is a part of your you use that theory and also you combine both theory and then you look into your context of your study. So it's challenge existing theories and also a model, right? Western say that okay, center will be the most highlighted, and but you test into the local people saying looking at that certain image on that poster probably the most highlighted is on the contrast color, for example. Right? So this is the thing that you use as a guide, and then you probably get the different results. Okay. Communication. Okay. Clearly articulate framework make research comprehensible to other scholar, researcher, and practitioner. Right. So this is the thing that I think basically it's the same with we discussed it before. Uh, you have the good visual, good diagram, good illustration, saying that it's more communicate. For me as well, because I'm in arts or design area, when I read when I read my student, and also during the viva to be a panel or examiner, I love to see the visual. All right, because it will be much easily or clearly will be clearly understood if I look into that visual. All right. They provide common language and structure for discussing and comparing research across different studies. Okay. Okay. Ethical consideration, right? As a theoretical framework, or conceptual framework. Sorry, for the theoretical framework, it's a ethical. Is connected with the ethical. Uh, it will help researchers consider the ethical implication of their works. Okay, the guide research in identifying potential biasness, assumption, or ethical concern associated with their study. So it will help you because the examiner will ask you, where did you get this? So you need a reference. Where did you refer this? This is based on the existing project, existing project, academic project, which is established that we practice the ethical. You need to highlight people which is did that as your guide. Okay, so this is the ethical implication, and also it will help you because when panel say that that's mean the examiner asks you where did you get. That's probably you are we are worried of the self claim. We are worried about that there's no reference, or you have the reference but you miss that. Okay, so this is guide you to identify the potential bias or any assumption. Right. Conceptual and theoretical framework play a pivotal role in shaping the design, execution, interpretation, communication research that help researchers conduct rigorous and well-structured study that contribute meaningful and advancement of knowledge in their respective field. Right. So this is the basic idea about the both of the conceptual and theoretical framework. Um, It's an analytical tool that can use before conducting study. Conceptual model is another word for it. Okay, all right, this is a different. So on your left is a theoretical framework, and on your right is a conceptual. Okay, used to test the theory, to predict and control the situation with the context of research inquiry. Can you read my handwriting? Sorry. All right. The conceptual framework is an aim to encourage the development of theory that would be useful for the practitioners in the field, right? So you have theoretical, which is talking about theories. Okay, the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, talking about theories, probably method, talking about that. And the conceptual framework is a general overview on your research. All right, it will show that how you develop all the phases and your test. Okay. Hold on. Okay. There's a question from Aziz. Prof, is conceptual framework is the same with study flowchart? Some of that conceptual is some of supervisor or practice in different school call is flowchart. Some of that call a research structure. Basically, it's the same. All right. When Yan Yu, when describe theories, should we also find and describe the original theories based on the and developing theories and theories? Okay, all right, okay. This is a good question. Theories on theories. Good. Right. For the basic foundation on the specific theories, yes, of course, you need to refer back to the original theories. If you're talking about that research, which is your, if you're talking about, okay, for me, I try to do my poster on smoking, okay, smoking posters. So there will be a theory saying that on the visual things, use a semiotic, or example, for example, which is look for the, I'm looking at the half campaign promotion. So there will be a theories on that. Okay, so I'm doing a specific research. I'm referring to the health campaign, which is not related to research, but it's a very general. So in that guideline, or that model, all right, established by WHO, they are also referring to the specific theories or the original theories. So if you're looking at the more specific, you need to refer back to the original theories. It depends, but if you're looking to one-to-one description on the theories, you can use the previous researcher. Shouldn't be any problem. Okay, all right. Okay, theoretical versus conceptual. So um, on the theoretical framework, it's a border scope, right? So they have a border on every areas. General, less structured, loosely defined. Okay, derived from theories that already exist. This is what I mentioned before. All right, derived from the theories that already exist, which is you refer to another research which is similar with your research, but you are doing more specific, but you're looking for that theories, which is they are already published that, they already have that theories. Okay, provide the basic foundation for a research study. Okay, you use that to do your study. Okay, provide the basic foundation, and it's the starting point of this discussion. Make readers aware what to follow, right? So as you as well, all right, you need to know that, okay, if I'm using this theory, so I just focus on this. I'm not involved with other things. So this is theoretical framework. So this is theoretical framework. You scope your area, your border. So I'm not looking for another things. Just focus on this, because based on this theory saying this, blah 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 blah. Only focus on this. Okay. On the conceptual framework, it's a narrow scope, very specific, defined structure, no ambiguity in definition. Okay. Derived from concept, specific variables that may be identified in the study. Okay. It's more concept, all right? Showing all the process, provide the structure paradigm for research analysis. So you have phase one, phase two, phase three, and how you're gonna use the method, and then how you're gonna analyze that, and finally the results. Okay, it lies in entire commencement of the study, right? So it will show the whole thing about your research. This is the conceptual framework, right? Compared to theoretical framework, it's more specific and more structured, right? Okay, the different conceptual framework focus on defining and organizing the key concept, right? The key concept and variables relevant to your research, while theoretical framework integrates established theories and concept to explain and predict relationship between those variables. Okay, so we already discussed this, and then this is the thing that basic things that you need to understand, that the difference. Okay, a conceptual framework is an analytical tool. It's a visual representation of your research project where you can define the variables and connective relationship among them in clear manner. Right? It's all for you and also for the researcher or the readers. Okay, type of conceptual variable used to design the framework of your research. There's independent variables, dependent variables, moderating variables, and mediating variables. Okay, I will explain through the diagram. Okay, just explain this now first. Independent variable is one that researcher can control to create an effect of the dependent variables. On the dependent variable, the researcher test and variables, the variables that dependent on the independent variable. Effects that can change on the moderating, effects and independent variables that can have on a dependent variable, and mediating variables. Mediators, they can interlink the dependence and independent variable. So this is how it looks. If you're talking about that statement, we are a bit lost. Okay, types of conceptual variables which are used to design the framework of your research. Okay, so how to get the framework? framework. Okay, for example, the control variable, so probably the age. Moderating variables, amount of gaming application and experience. So this is moderating. So moderating means variables can change effect and independence variable. So this is the mediating variables. Amount, the moderating goes to mediating variable, which is the effect of the media. And depending variables, childhood media exposure, all right? And the independent, on dependence variable is coming from the independent variables, hours spent on digital media. So this is all the things that you're looking at. So the type of conceptual variables which are used to design the framework of research. Okay, all right. You can see this. This is the thing that you need. It doesn't have to be like this. You don't have to put the moderating variable, independent variable, but you need to know that the control variables is looking for the age, right? If you're talking about the independent variables, it's about the hour spent in the digital media, all right? Moderating variable, which is you looking at that amount of gaming application experience, and it will shows the mediating variable the effects of media from that gaming application experience. And depending variable is coming from all these things coming from the childhood media exposure. All right, okay. Some variables only explained as a concept. Can that include a theoretical framework? Okay, different. Concept means based on their structure based on their study. So it's not talking about the theoretical framework. Okay, Joy, theoretical framework, you need to find the theories. So you can't use that concept. They are because they develop the conceptual framework because of their study. They develop that based on their study. So it doesn't relate with the theories. But if they use a theory, probably for example, phase 1 to phase 2, there's one theories using to gather all the information from phase 1, which is objective number 1 to objective number 2. This is a theory that you use to develop another tool. For example, you can use that if talking about the theories. But if you're talking about the whole concept of the conceptual framework, you want to use that as an established theories to your theory, which is not related. Theory means theory, concept means concept. Okay.
Hello,
All
Prof.
right. Hello. Yeah.
Good. Prof, please, let's say if you have one IV and then one DV,
The variables and
and then in between the IV, good. In between IV, DV, you have, let's say two mediators, and then one moderator. Now, my question is, two mediators,
okay, mediator,
and then let's say one moderator. Now, do you need a theory for each? Is it possible to get, if you are not getting a theory for each, how do you go about it?
If you don't get both for that mediating and moderating variables, so you can use that. I mean, the theories is not covered for both.
Yes.
Is it? Oh yeah, you can use two different theory as long as relate to the things that you did in your study. If you're talking about moderating, talking about another theory which is not related, but the effect of that showing close to your research, you can't use that because it's not related to your research.
Thank you.
Right? All right, no worries. Okay, steps to develop conceptual framework. All right, can we move to this? Clarify your study topic by identifying. Okay, so this is the step. Okay, clarify your study topic by defining key concept. Your thesis problem, right? Perform literature review to provide background, interpret, explain the study findings. So basically, this is the step. All the step. I will pass to Miss Auzulia. You can read this because it's just a simple step, right? What you need to do to identify and also to develop. Basically, the whole thing about the conceptual and theoretical framework we already discussed, right? This is only the steps, right? Okay, so this is for example, the conceptual framework. Consider an example conceptual framework in the context of design research. All right. The title: factor influencing user satisfaction with mobile apps user interface design. Okay, so this is my independent variables, the visual appeal. So this is the things that it could be in one theories. Okay, basically this is the conceptual framework: independent mediating variables and contextual factor, aesthetic, color scheme, typography, ease of navigation, intuitive interaction, clear hierarchy. So this is one theory. Mediating, another theory which is using user experience, perceived value, and engagement. This is how you're gonna use that. Basically, on your research, you need to identify something like this, right? So this is the whole concept, and you need to identify each theories on that for independence, mediating, and also dependence. Okay, so this is the example of the conceptual framework. So basically, start with topics, and then your problem, research objective, research question, and then based on this literature review, chapter 2 and chapter 3 methodology. So in between this, you have this independent variables, mediating variables, dependent variables, contextual factor. So this is the theories probably you can use, or in one in one theory it will cover everything. All right, so you need to know you need to identify that. Okay? User experience and user satisfactory probably in one theory. All right, and independent variables, user visual appeal. So this is the what Muhammad asked me before. So this is the thing, right? It could be a different theory, or probably just one theory you can use for both. Okay, never mind, I will pass to you the slide, and then probably for Azelia will pass to you, right? The variable has no model or no theories. The variable has no model or no theories, GT competency, but do have characteristic at the sheet. It can't be in your theoretical framework, but it can be in your literature review. Okay, so based on that literature review, all right, and you have one firm or solid theory you can attach to, all right? So the development of the question, probably you can use that and additional. So this is the idea that we are doing the discussion between the examiner will ask you, where did you get this question? The question coming from the theory, and also it attached with the digital competency model or digital competency guideline, for example, right? So this is combination because it's relate, or it's talking the same thing in the idea of that areas, right? So you can use that, Joy, but you can't claim that as a theory because it's not theory. For qualitative, we need to identify the variable as well. Okay, for the qualitative, we can't define the variables. But basically, the theories mention about what is the idea of having that theories, talking about that that areas, that issue. All right, Nurul? All right. So there's no specific variables, but you should understand that theories on will help you to identify certain things. Right? All right. Good. Okay. So I think that's it for my slide. All right. So if you have anything, probably we can have a discussion, or probably you can email me. All right. I'll pass to you my email. All right. Okay. You can email me, and then I'll try my best to answer all the question, or if you have any trouble with the conceptual and theoretical framework, all right, you can email me. I'll try my best to answer all that. And plus we open a new semester right now, so yeah, I try my best to find a space for me to answer all the email. All right, any other question before?
Yep. Professor, I have a question. First of all, thank you very much. It was very thought-provoking and a lot of understanding development presentation. Prof, can you please answer this question?
Sure.
What is theoretical contribution? Like what we mean by, for example, if there we find a relationship between two variables, is it mean theoretical contribution, or like it is a quite confusing? Like what do you think is theoretical contribution?
Theoretical contribution.
Theoretical
contribution.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Basically, what we need in the theory is a guideline for us. Okay. We need that as a guideline for easy for us to easy understand that, to help us to answer all the question from the examiner. That's the easy thing that we need to identify, or we need to understand. All right. They will ask you, where you get this? All right. It must be a reason. In research or academic writing, there must be a reason. Where did you get all this from? You develop question, you make a decision. Why I'm gonna use a semiotic, for example. Why I'm gonna use a semiotic? Because there's a theory saying that semiotic model will help you to identify. This is arts. Okay, semiotic will elements or model will guide you to get all the information on the visual, for example, visual understanding. All right, certain visual, we look into one symbol, we can understand that it's a universal. People will understand the whole world. So this is the guideline for you to use that as your study, based on your study, which is, this is the thing that you are looking for. So this is guideline, even though you are not looking at the same thing, which is talking about the symbol or sign. But that is the idea of that theories, saying that semiotic will help you to understand the visual approach. So that's the idea of having that theory as a guideline. If you say that you need two theories to get the two variable, that should be okay as long as connected. Sometimes people, because that theories, the theory you use, probably this is not enough. There's no theories on talking about this. Of course, definitely, because this is PhD. It's not master. It's not undergrad. It's not first degree. It should cross with other discipline. You're not talking about your area as well. Just your area. You're talking about the whole other discipline which is you're crossing to. Okay, it's not just your area, which is if you're talking about graphic design, it's not just graphic design. All right, how graphic design can contribute to other things. And also, you need to know that, don't worry using theories or any guideline more than one, because this is all about, if you're talking about the things that already did before, so you didn't contribute, or the research is not new. Research must be new. If you're talking about other people doing the same thing, so this is not new. All right, Barbara?
Yes,
Don't
yes,
worry about
Professor.
using.
Thank you.
No
Thank
worries.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry about you are referring. This is the thing that you should happy on that, because you have the good direction, you have a good track, because you are not satisfied with one theory, and then you just use that simply. So you're looking for another theories or other things that which is more related or more close to your research.
Thank
this is
you,
good.
Prof.
No worries. Any other question?
Excuse me.
Yes, sure.
Professor.
This?
Yeah, this is you. Yeah. Thanks for your significant speech. Actually, a lot of my fellows around me are confused about theoretical framework and conceptual framework. So I have another question. Are there any basic principles for us to form the structure of the theoretical framework and conceptual framework, apart from, for example, for theoretical framework, apart from the we use in the thesis, are there any other factors should be in the structure or the diagram Yeah, because normally with no idea apart from the series, any other factors should be on or variables should be on the structure.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good question, Yanu. For first question, is there any template or something like the things that will be guide you to do the conceptual? There's no guideline. Basically, you can find that in School of Art will be different in with school in mathematics or in whatever physics or chemistry. There's no specific template, no specific model guideline for you to create this. Right? If you try to search, if you Google it, there's no specific. It depends on your research. Sometimes, sometimes you're talking about in fact in your area as well, in your discipline as well. Sometimes it's not same because research must be different. You are not same with other students, other candidates, PhD candidates, because this is the thing that you are master on your areas only. So you are not talking about the other things. You could refer to them, but you just take whatever is related to your research. Don't worry about that. There's no right or wrong on your visual or on your how you structured your conceptual framework, but it's about your research and the content on that. Okay, and you're talking about the second one is about variables and the factors. You are worried on that. It's also the same thing, which is you only know what are you trying to do. Okay, you the only person knows about this, right? Your supervisor will help you to make it more structured. Okay, you the one who knows the research is all about. Okay, if you're talking about the what is the factors on that, you only know, but basically based on what I mentioned it before, right? Talking about independent variables. So if you're talking about independent variable, do you know you're worried that is not the independent variable is not relate to your research? Is it something like that?
Okay. Yes, I mean, example for theoretical framework, normally we only put theories we use in the thesis in the framework, or we should include any other factors to the framework. And also the same as for conceptual framework. Should we also put theories in the conceptual framework and also other instrumental techniques or variables, any other things? Yeah.
Okay, for the conceptual framework, yeah, you can put the any models, any guideline. But if you're talking about theoretical framework, it's just a theory. Okay, it's just a theory. And then if you're saying that you are worried about you put that the factors or any variables is not right, you don't think that is right or not. So that I can't say that this is okay. This is the template or this is the thing that you need to follow. There's no specific, because your research is not same with others, and also it is basically based on your literature review, based on your objective. It will be cycle back, right? Your problem statement is talking about this area, this thing, and then your objective try to find that. So you need to understand that your keywords on your research is talking about that areas. So if you talk about that one things, and then you the only one who knows that which is related or not with your research. As an examiner, for me, I will depends on your ideas, on your keywords. Okay, and then the theories that use, this is the thing that the examiner will see that whether you use the right theory or not, which is related to your literature review, the things that you cover, right? If you're talking about the visual, for example, the visual on compositing, for example, compositing on visual, you use a good whether it is right or not, it depends on the theory whether it's relate or link or not with your literature review. or your objective. You're talking about if you're trying to study about the element of that, so you need to identify that the theory which is having that factor or not based on that. If you're talking about something else, which is the effects of the visual, it's not talking about the factor of the visual, how to prepare that visual, how give the impact of that visual. So that would be wrong. So that is the role of the examiner to see that whether you are using that theories correct or not. If you're talking about people would judge you, okay, this is the theory, you can't use this theory. There must be a reason. The reason is based on your writing on literature review. If you're talking about that area, so as our role as an examiner, we need to identify that whether it is connected or not with the theory, because it's important, because your theory will shows the whole thing about your research. You bring that theory, and then you're gonna develop you use that method, and then we try to see that how you develop that, and then how you get the impact, the result from that. So that's the thing.
Thank you,
Right?
Professor.
No worries.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Assalamualaikum, Dokter.
Salam. Yeah.
Okay, thank
Nah.
you so much.
Yeah.
Do you hear my voice?
Yeah, I can hear clearly.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I want to ask about, based on your experience, Doctor, how long the well-formed or well-fixed the theoretical and conceptual framework when we start the research?
Come again,
Based on your
one more time.
experience, how long the well-fixed about the theoretical and conceptual framework? Along that we need to fix it everything about the theoretical. I mean, then just hold the research, or just we give the time to fix it about it.
This is the good question, and I already answered that during my last talk with School of the Arts. Okay, chapter 2, theoretical framework, it doesn't stop once you finish the chapter 2. There's no stop time for chapter 2, which is you will find more obstacle, more unsuccessful failure results on your data. Even though some of the researcher mentioned that don't worry about your data, because right or wrong, you get a good data or not good data, not good, it's still considered as a result. It's still considered because you are following the theory, you are following about the discussion about the model, but it's not success. It's still the results. Yes, it's true, but the thing is, you will find more obstacle, more things that you can't. I mean, for my case, because some of my respondent sampling is not understand about that. So you have to develop another thing. Of course, when you develop another things, another tools, you have to find another theories about the perception, for example, because they can't understand. So there will be another theory involved in my study. So it's talking about the perception. So you need to find the perception for the kids. So another theory you will involve in your research. So there's another variable. So it can't stop once you complete chapter 2, once you define your proposal, it doesn't stop just like that. It's the whole thing. Once you get the data, sometimes you need to still work with your chapter 2, literature review and theoretical framework.
So the theoretical and conceptual framework, we put the last of the chapter 2, right? I mean, that
correct.
the flow chart.
Some of them, conceptual framework will be in chapter at the end of chapter 1, and some theoretical framework will be in chapter 2. Some of that's put together in chapter 2.
Okay.
No issue at all. As long you didn't put that in chapter 6.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. No worries. Okay. Okay, there's another question from Joy. Some schools say that it should be pure theories, no model. Yep, it's a theories, no model. If you're talking about theoretical framework, it should be theories, no model, right? But you can use that model in your literature review to map. Okay, this model is close to this theory, saying that this is the results. This is the thing that they identify from this model. But don't put that in theoretical framework. because it's a theory, should be theory. It's not model. Okay? Hey. Okay. Bawazir, is it possible for all hypotheses not to be supported? Not because the wrong framework, but because of the highly complicated nature financial markets. The market keep changing all the time. Of course, yeah. This is the thing that you need to challenge the hypothesis. All right. The use of hypothesis as a guideline for you. All right. But you can challenge it. No worries. Depends on the period. Depends on the culture. All right. Depends on the society. It can be changed. Don't worry. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You can challenge it. Some school. Okay. Okay. Existing theory did not have visual sketch. Yeah, of course. Uh, 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 you can sketch because basically what I share with you is based on my sketches. It's not based on any other theories. Okay. All right. I think that's all. If you have any question, more question, you just email me. I try my best to answer all the question. Uh, I'm having a good time with you this morning. I'm so sorry, a bit late, 5 minutes late, because I thought it would be in the afternoon. I'm so sorry to Puan Azulia as well. I'm so sorry. Um, but yeah, everything okay now. Yeah, uh, have a good chance to share with you all these. Yeah, sharing with you all these things that probably could help you for your PhD study. Right. I wish you all the best. Right. Go for it. Okay. Don't stop. Do all the academic things, good things, contribute to new knowledge, contribute to new to academic things, right? All the best. Try to complete within 3 years. All right, you can do this. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Take care. Stay safe. All right. All right. Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much. Thank you, Puan Nazilia. I will pass to you the slide. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Take care, guys. Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Waalaikumsalam.